Can you see my head? Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing my August wrap-up and my September TBR, and it's September? What? I think I read quite a few books this month. I was trying to just get a lot in before all of the releases that were coming out in September, so hopefully I succeeded. Hopefully I have time to read all of the great releases in September. So, this is what I read in August. So the first three books that I read were The Winter's Curse, Winter's Crime, and Winter's Kiss, all by Marie Rutowski. For the Winter's Curse trilogy, I believe I think it's called the Winter's Curse trilogy. No, I think it's just called the Winter's Trilogy. Okay, I read all three books in the Winter's Trilogy. I loved this series so much. I don't think I was expecting to love it that much. There had just been a lot of hype around it. I was just interested to read it, and I ended up really, really enjoying it. I loved the characters, and the books kind of got better as they went on. The Winter's Curse got 4 stars, Winter's Crime got 4.5, and The Winter's Kiss got 5 stars. I just love series where they just gradually get better, and it's just incredible. I really am happy that I got around to reading these books because the political intrigue and the character dynamics and just everything going on, the plot and the fantasy world, it was all incredible. I really, really loved it. The fourth book that I read this month was The Hawkweed Prophecy by Irina Brignall. This book comes out September 6th. I got it at Barnes & Noble's B-Fest. That's what it was called, B-Fest. I actually really enjoyed this book. I am a sucker for magic and fantasy, and so I was really happy to read a book about 2 girls. One was a normal girl, and then one's a witch, and just kind of how their worlds combine. The plot was predictable, and there was one thing that didn't necessarily need to be there. I'm not going to spoil anything. Just one thing that didn't need to be in the book. But overall, I really enjoyed it, and seeing the whole plot play out was probably the most enjoyable thing for me. Next, I did actually get around to reading Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight, Assassin's Blade, and Heir of Fire, all from the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. I loved them more the second time around, which I didn't know was possible. Throne of Glass still is my least favorite, but it's not that it's a bad book. It's just, compared to the other books in the series, it just doesn't compare. I liked Heir of Fire a lot more this time around. I guess I was just so caught up in all of the action of Crown of Midnight that when Heir of Fire was more development, I was bored. But reading it the second time around was just incredible. And if you haven't reread the series, if you have any interest in doing so, I would really, really recommend it. Just because you catch so many things throughout that kind of relate to everything that you've already read. And it's so incredible to see everything that you paid no attention to the first time around. And the second time you're like, oh my goodness, what? Like, it's been so obvious, and it's just like, anyways, reread it if you have the time or interest. If you haven't read it at all, read it. This is my one crossover book that I always have over the months. Queen of Shadows, I'm about 200 pages in, something around that. I'm just trying to finish it before September 6th for known reasons. So this is my crossover book. So I finished 200 pages in the month of August. That counts for something. So there are a ton of books coming out of September, and by a ton, I mean 2. I think I'm just so hyped up for them that it feels like a ton. So the first one is Empire of Storms by Sarah J. Maas, and I'm beyond excited for this book. I can't contain myself. It comes out September 6th, which is why I reread the entire series. And there's just a lot going on, and there's rumors and spoilers, and I talked about this in my last video, but I'm still kind of freaking out, and we have 5 days. 5 days until Empire of Storms comes out. So I'm reading that the day it comes out. Watch out for the vlog because that will be coming up at some point. The book that I would like to read after Empire of Storms is A Torch Against the Night by Saba Tahir. I'm very excited for this book, and it hurts my heart that I'm not letting myself read it right now. I just kind of wanted to stay in the Throne of Glass world up until Empire of Storms comes out. So as soon as I finish Empire of Storms, I'm jumping into A Torch Against the Night because I absolutely loved An Ember in the Ashes, and I need to read it. I don't know why it had to come out on that day, because it ruined me, but I'm really, really excited to read. The next book that I would like to read in September is Devoted by Jennifer Mathieu. I don't know. It's about a girl that was raised in an extremely God-devoted family, and she wants to find God. She's just having trouble doing it from her parents' point of view, if that makes sense. Like, her parents' way of teaching it and leading her to God is not necessarily the way that she would like to, and she doesn't feel like it's helping her at all. And so it's just kind of how her own journey to find God, and I'm excited. And so I'm wanting to try to get around to reading California. I don't know if that sentence was grammatically correct. We're just gonna roll with it. By Eden Lupicki. I can't say names. This is a post-apocalyptic novel about a couple who have fled Los Angeles because obviously if something bad happened, it's probably in Los Angeles. And so they realize that the girl is pregnant, and they have no idea how to raise a child, let alone in a post-apocalyptic world. And so they find just a little civilization off the course of nowhere, and then it's just kind of all of the bad things that happen in the civilization. But, like, it's post-apocalyptic. You can't think that a civilization is going to be good. I bought this a year and a half or 2 years ago, so I'm hoping to finally getting around to reading it. I don't know what stopped me, but I haven't read post-apocalyptic in a really long time, and I'm sort of in the mood. So if I get more in the mood for it, it'll be read in September. Yeah. The Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom Riggs. That is not an easy title. The movie comes out, and I know that's a super lame reason to read a book, but the pictures have always creeped me out. So hopefully wanting to see the movie will motivate me to read the book. I would like to read this entire series before the first movie comes out. Also, I think the Tales of the Peculiar just came out, so I'd like to read that also. As long as I read it in daylight, I think I'll be fine. And the last book that I would like to read in September is Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. I'm so excited. Empire Storms and Crooked Kingdom were two of my most anticipated releases, and they're both coming out in the same month, and I'm not sure that my small, emotionally challenged heart can handle this, but we're gonna do our best. This is just the story that comes directly after Six of Crows, which is a spin-off series from the Grisha trilogy, and I loved Six of Crows so much. Just the character dynamics and the plot and just the writing itself was all so perfect. Also, Six of Crows has black pages, correct? Crooked Kingdom is gonna have red pages. Like, I'm so tempted to, like, leave them out on my shelf like this, but this wouldn't make any sense. So, we're just gonna hope for the best here. But anyways, that's not important. The point is, Crooked Kingdom is gonna come out, and it's only a duology, so this is the end to the series, so we're gonna know what happens with all of our babies. And Leigh Bardugo has been dropping so many hints that we're, like, gonna be emotionally destroyed while reading this book, and a part of me is okay with that, and the other part of me is like, why, Leigh Bardugo, why? So those are all of the books that I read in August, and the ones that I would like to read in September. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and you have a great day, or night, or whatever time it is, wherever you are. Thank you for watching. Why am I talking so fast? Really trying to get in a lot of books before all of the... why can't I? Is this in order? No, it's not. The fourth book that I read in September, why can't I do days? Crown of Midnight, Assassin's Blade, and Air Fire from the Throne of Glass series by Sarah Jababuba. Goodness. Reread it if you haven't read it, crap. Gonna babada-booba. Crap. The third book I would like to read in September is A Torchic Nuts, not the book. Oh my. That I would like to get around to read is Miss Peregrine's Home, I can't speak. Peregrine's Home, Miss Peregrine, Grins, not Gins.